Councilor Parker.
A couple of motions. Picking up on one of the recommendations that we heard today, I move that the Acting General Manager, Transportation Services be requested to provide direction to the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee on the extension of Redway Road from Millwood to the Bayview Extension, with recommendations in respect to including separated bicycle lanes on the extended Redway Road. Also, that City Council rescind its decision related to the bicycle lanes on Jarvis Street. Let me tell you what's behind all of this. I think we all agree here that the future of the city has to include bicycles, pedestrian mobility, and transit and private motor vehicles. And that means that we have to give some emphasis to some of those modes that have been less emphasized over the past generation. So we all recognize that we need more bicycle lanes, better bicycle lanes, and better pedestrian mobility as part of our planning for the future, for all the reasons that we've heard here this afternoon. And frankly, it's better for drivers if we have more and better bicycle lanes, simply because it makes it easier for everybody to do what they're trying to do. Keeps the, make a long story short, it keeps the cyclists and the motor vehicles away from one another, and that suits the purposes and it benefits both. So it's in the interest of all of us that we advance the concepts that we're here talking about today. I don't think we need to hear more about that, although today has served as a good reminder of the importance of all of that. The trick is, how do we go about doing it? Where do we put the lanes? How do we orient the lanes? How do we construct the lanes? And how do we do it in the best, most effective way to serve the goals that we're trying to achieve? Easier said than done, and we've heard a number of ideas, a number of recommendations, and I hope that out of the process of today, with all of the jumble and all of the confusion of various messages and various recommendations, we can come out of the process with some advances as we work towards an integrated cycling network throughout the downtown area and ultimately across the city. We need to do that, and today is one step in that process. I contribute the suggestion of Redway Road as part of that, and not to dwell on that at length. But right now there is heavy vehicular traffic on two streets in particular that cut through the Leaside community, and that is not desirable to the residents of the community. It's not serving the interests of the commuters who are stuck in traffic on those roadways, and it is certainly not conducive to cyclists who find that they have to pick their way through very busy streets and clogged traffic. That's backed up on those streets that are really pushed to the limit right now. Giving an alternate route for those vehicles will clear up those streets for everybody, including cyclists. So simply putting the roadway through itself, I'm suggesting, would improve the circumstances for cyclists. I'm asking for some advice on that, but that's the hypothesis I'm putting forward. And certainly let's take advantage of that opportunity to optimize the facility for cyclists through that area. And we have a perfect opportunity to provide a route, and let's make it a separated route if we possibly can for cyclists to cut the corner from Millwood Road over to the Bayview Extension in the southbound direction, and from Bayview up to Millwood in the opposite direction, which would benefit everybody, drivers and cyclists. As far as Jarvis is concerned, members of this committee may remember that when the redesign of Jarvis first came to council, it was with a view to beautifying Jarvis. It was recognized that Jarvis, once upon a time, was a beautiful avenue. It has been given over to pavement, and the hope was to reduce the amount of pavement and increase the landscaping and greenery and beautify the whole area. almost as a last-minute gesture, cycling lanes were included in the plan, and out the window went the plan of beautifying Jarvis. It was never part of the bicycle plan. We have bicycle lanes on Sherburne. I'm suggesting that the bicycle lanes on Jarvis are redundant, and in the interest of all of us, they can be removed without inconveniencing cyclists at all, but improving Jarvis overall.
Sorry, sir, with all due respect, we've had an excellent meeting. Everybody has been respectful of everybody else, and I'd like to continue in that fashion. Thank you. We have questions. Are you finished, Councilor?
Yes, thanks. Also, out of time besides.
Pardon?
I'm out of time besides.
Yes. Questions from Councilor Layton and Councilor Perks.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the mover, I'm a little concerned that perhaps you've got your ward number off. I was under the impression you represented Ward 26, not Ward 27. Is that? Have you consulted the local councillor about this decision you're about to make on behalf of her residents?
What you're talking about?
Have you asked the local councillor if this is a good idea about the Jarvis motion?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes.
And what was her response?
5 minutes before.
Well,
What was her response?
5 minutes before you move that motion.
Sorry, Councilor Guang-Tam, we can put you down if you like. Actually, the guest of the committee asked the mover. I'm not really sure. I don't check with Councilor.
What was the local councillor's view of this motion?
well, she has her own views about the future of Jarvis, and I respect those views. Jarvis Street belongs to all of us, and I'm certainly not suggesting that my motion is the end of the story on Jarvis. I am suggesting, though, that
That it be removed.
Well,
Sorry, Councilor Layton,
I stick with what
let
I
him
said.
finish the question, and then you can ask another question. That's how it works.
Have you conducted any consultation on your own with the residents in Ward 27 about the removal of the lane? It seems to me that a lot of the conversation around removal of lanes is lack of conversation and consultation. Have you in fact consulted the residents of Ward 27 on this decision and recommendation?
Haven't pursued any particular discussion with the residents of Ward 27, but I'm certainly hearing from the residents of other wards, including Ward 26, which is the one I represent, that they were unhappy with the decision that was made by the previous council with respect to Jarvis.
Because they can't drive real fast down and get downtown to where they're going, presumably.
Those are your words. Those aren't the words I've heard.
Would you be surprised that in fact the staff report indicates that this isn't a severely onerous time restraint or restriction that we put on, and in fact they think that they can through a very simple and very inexpensive change actually address the additional time that it's now taking to travel by car on Jarvis?
Well, my point didn't relate to the travel time on Jarvis. My point related to the initial vision of amendments to Jarvis, which were directed at beautifying the streetscape, and that was lost in the decision that was made by council in the last.
And you know that by talking to the local residents?
No, I know that because that was clear to all of us the last term. That was the essence of the report that came before us, and that was changed to abandon the plan to beautify Jarvis in favor of installing bike lanes, which were not part of the plan.
Do you think we should be consulting the local residents before we make this decision?
I've got no quarrel with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have the first motion up on the screen again? The Redway bike lane that you've proposed. I'm not. I've just looked at the map. There's no road there right now, is there?
The term I used was to extend Redway Road. There is a road. It extends from Millwood towards the Bayview extension, but it doesn't extend all the way.
There's just sort of a driveway to a parking lot right now.
It heads into a parking lot and ultimately down into the valley.
So this actually is building a road and disguising it as a separated bike lane. That's what you're doing, isn't it?
No, not at all.
This isn't the Bayview extension.
No, it's a recommendation.
I mean, we've seen this before.
Sorry,
the Redway.
Councilor Perks.
Yeah.
Okay, so the same as I said to
Sure.
Councilor Layton.
I'm listening.
You ask a question, he gets to answer, then you get to answer another question.
Mhm.
You ask another question.
Yep.
Well, the suggestion in your question is that there's something buried in the recommendation, and I suggest that that's entirely untrue. What I'm saying quite clearly is I'm requesting that staff look into and report back on the thought of punching through Redway Road. So we extend Redway Road from its current length all the way through from Millwood to Bayview.
Yeah.
And as we do that, we also look into putting bike lanes on it.
So I guess I was correct then. This is actually building new road.
Sorry, Councilor, can I interrupt?
I just need to, no, I need to understand this. I gotta vote on this, and I heard one answer.
I didn't
If I'm gonna vote, I gotta know what's going on.
that point.
Councilor Perks, I'm the chair of the committee. If I could just interrupt for a second.
Well, then you can hold my time if you interrupt.
I'm happy to hold
Thanks.
your time. So provide direction. The chair interprets that as the motion, as does staff, is to commence a process, not start the building of a road.
Oh.
Okay, so it says provide direction. It does not say,
Can I-
as many other motions said, design and install or design and implement. Councillor, the chair's reading and staff's reading, because my sense of this is from talking to staff that there may be an EA required in this. So and I think the mover of the motion, the councillor, knows and understands that, and that's our interpretation of the motion.
Can I ask a point of order then,
Yes.
sir? Okay. I'm just wondering if the item, the motion is properly before us, given that the item is the bikeway network, not the roadway network. I'm wondering if asking for direction to create a new road is appropriately before us. It's a road for cars when we consider the bikeway network. So can you rule as to whether or not this is in order, given the item in front of us?
I'll take that under advisement. I will rule when the motions come before us, but you can, right now it is before us until I rule otherwise.
Okay. So I have some more questions of the councillor on another.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
give you
if there's
another
any
3
issue
minutes
with
if I
the
request reset.
if there's any issue with the semantics of the motion, I'm open to an amendment. But my request is we look into the potential of extending Redway Road and putting bike lanes there as well.
As well, yeah, I got that part. One of the concerns that we've had in terms of some of these motions that have come forward today is the issue of community consultation. Did you conduct any community consultation before bringing forward a motion to eliminate JARVIS?
I didn't have to conduct any consultation. The consultation has come to me. It's come to me pretty consistently over the past few years.
And this is your residents being concerned about the JARVIS bike lane?
Oh, we're talking about JARVIS now.
Yeah, I asked you about JARVIS, yeah.
Okay, well, I'd say the same thing. I've heard from a number of people on the point.
So when we're considering bike lanes, we should be considering residents from other wards rather than the local residents?
I think we should concern ourselves with the thoughts of all of our residents, and certainly major streets belong to all of us.
So-
More than
So would you apply then, Councillor Berard,
all the
Netty's
streets
logic?
belong to all of us.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, there are a lot of people talking. I need to hear what Councillor Parker's.
Sorry.
Michelle, I'm sorry.
Sorry, can we have some order in the room, please?
So would you apply Councillor Berard Netty's logic, which is I'm the local councillor, I ran for election, I talked to a lot of people, I know about the bike lanes in my ward, we should do what I say, to the JARVIS case? Would you apply that?
I'm suggesting that we are here to look out for the interests of all of our residents, and we take
So we
our
should
advice-
ignore Councillor Berard
I'm not
Netty's
saying
reasoning?
I would never suggest we ignore anybody's recommendations or advice.
We should just pick and choose. Thanks.
Okay,